Okay. So before starting with the different types of crimes wherein punishment as well as the ingredients are mentioned in IPC, before starting with that, there are some basic provisions that we get. Okay, like we get a long list of definitions which are being provided. Ideally, for most of the legislations, we get that part in like section 2 of the legislation. Usually section 2 provides for all the definitions, but in case of IPC, we have other sections giving definitions. Like if you see this general explanation part, this general explanation is nothing but the definitions which are given. Like if we take the definition of person, if we take the definition of document, counterfeit, will, omission, everything is being defined just to make it very clear that when we are using this certain word in the legislation, this is what it means. Okay, yes. So if you look at any of the definitions of different types of crimes, you will see it always uses this word he. Okay, that when a person commits this crime, he will be punished, his, him, like that it is mentioning. But that does not mean that IPC is not applicable in case of women, right? It's applicable in their case also. That thing again is made very clear in this definition called gender. So it says even if we are using the male version of like words, it also includes female as well. Like that different words are being defined in IPC. Okay, similarly, there is another part which becomes important. Like if you look at your syllabus unit 2, there is something related to abetment. Okay, abetment to commit a certain type of a crime. Is it punishable or not? What will be the punishment? Like that also we have some provisions given. Because when a crime takes place, the situation may be like very complicated. Okay, what would happen there? We do not have much idea on that. That's why all these provisions are there, that if this happens, this is the situation, this is what we will call it. Like that, there are few provisions. And from that part, we have this another section which is called possible parties to the crime. When a crime is committed, it's not just the person whom we see committing the crime actually, but there may be other people as well who are also like parties to the crime. Even though we have not seen them committing it, still they are also considered as parties to the crime. Okay, so there are these 4 things that we need to understand. Principle in the first degree, principle in second degree, accessories before and after the fact. These are the 4 things that we will discuss today. Okay. Now, all these 4 words, if you look for in the legislation in IPC, you would not find it because these provisions we have derived from the common law. Okay, what used to be followed in England, from there we just have this concepts for understanding and to differentiate between different parties who may be involved in a crime. But as such, if you look at IPC, you may not get these provisions, but still it becomes important for us to know this part. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So first we will see what is, so possible parties to a crime, it's clear, right? When a crime is committed, who may be the parties to the crime? At the first instance, we see the one who is killing another one, right? And one person is killed and another person is killing. So the one who is killing that person would be like a party to the crime. But are there some other people also whom we can include in the responsibility or the liability? That's what we will see. So possible parties to the crime, we have principle in the first degree and second degree. Now this is just an example, okay? Principle in first degree, and this is an example of principle in second degree. Take for example, this is a person, okay, like an adult grown-up person who is having mens rea or guilty intention. Okay, this adult person is having a bad intention or a guilty mind to kill a certain human being. Okay, this person wants to kill these 2 people. But what he is doing is he is not directly going and killing those two people, but rather he is using this child as his means to achieve his intention. Okay, so what he is doing is he is asking this child to go and kill these two persons.
Okay.
We already know, right, that a child below 7 years of age cannot commit a crime, right? It's given in IPC.
82, 83.
Okay, so if a child under 7 years of age cannot commit a crime, who is responsible here? Because this child has not yet developed that much of maturity, right? So in such a case, what will happen? In such a case, we will say that even if the child has committed this crime, it's not the child who is guilty over here, right? It's this adult person who created such a situation or somehow convinced the child to commit a crime. Okay, so child is not criminally liable, but we can make this person criminally liable and he will fall under this principle in first degree. Even if you were present in that given situation, you would not even see this person there. He might not even be present because he convinced this child to commit the crime. Over there, the person will still be held liable. He will fall under principle in first degree. Okay.
Okay.
So this is where the person is not even present, still he is made liable because he has somehow convinced the child or created such a situation where the child ends up killing the person. This is one example where this person is principal in first degree. Okay, as shown over here, he is the one. This is another example wherein this is the criminal who killed these two people. Okay, there is no one who is convincing him to kill, no one is paying him to kill these persons, no one is abating, no one is creating any situations or anything. He himself killed these two persons. Over there also, this person will be considered liable under principle in first degree. Okay, that means someone may commit the crime using his own hands, using his own brain, using his own body, or he may take help of someone else also. Okay, but we need to see whose help is being taken, and over there we can say he will be responsible under principle in first degree.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what is principle in second degree? In this case, there may be some people who are giving assistance, okay? Even though you cannot see a person inside the car, just assume there is a person, okay?
Okay.
Here, what is happening? Someone is there, okay? Inside this car, there is one person who is assisting him, okay? He is assisting him. He is like, I'm waiting here. You kill these two persons and you just come. I'm waiting for you, okay? I'll take you home. Okay. In that case, this person inside the car, he even did not get down from his car, right? He is also not like technically present in the situation, but he is providing some aid, he is providing some assistance, he is waiting over there. That's why we call him principal in second degree. Okay, even though he has not committed the crime himself, but still he is providing some sort of assistance. Okay, so the person who is sitting inside the car, that person's responsibility will be principal in second degree.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, now if we look at the provisions here, so these are just two examples and this is the explanation for it. So principals in first degree are those who perpetrate a crime directly. It's their own intention which they want to fulfill, for them they are committing the crime. Okay, so in other words, those who actually commit the crime or offense with their own hands or through innocent agent. Innocent agent as in a child who is not having that ability to differentiate between right and wrong, or it may be like a person of unsound mind, all those people, okay, a person under the influence of involuntary intoxication. In all such cases, we would say that through some innocent agent, they are committing the crime. Okay, so this can be in a case the respondent used the person to make him do the act or offense, and the person did not have the ability or the capability to commit the crime. In such a situation, the investigator would be principal offender and the perpetrator would be the innocent agent. Like in Hindi, we say, right, "Dusro ke kandhon pe banduk rakh ke chalana." It's like you are taking help or assistance of another person and you are just getting your work done. Okay, so in such cases, it will be principle of first degree. Either he is just doing it himself or taking help of some innocent agent. This statement is important. Okay, the one in bold or the one which is underlined, these two statements are important here. So the presence of principals in the first degree at the place where an offense has taken place is not essential. He might not be there like we have seen in this case. This adult person may simply convince the kid to kill these two people, and it's not necessary that he would accompany the child. So his presence is not like an essential ingredient, otherwise also he will be held liable. Innocent agent is a person who, by reason of either immaturity of understanding or impairment of mind, the person is not able to validly make a difference between right and wrong. The person committing the actus rea could be completely innocent. Okay, he is completely innocent, even though he is the one doing the act or doing the omission. But the person is innocent because they do not have the capability to commit an offense. Their mental ability is not that strong yet. So if a child below 7 years is convinced that you kill this person, that person who convinced that adult person will be held liable. So there was this case wherein employees were asked by their employer to send out letters and participate in some sort of a financial transaction, and they were not told that this will lead to some fraudulent transactions. Okay, these people were not having the idea, but they were made to do that, and the employer was principal offender in this case because he was not having the knowledge over there. Okay. So during this demonetization time also, there were so many like people who might be having that their bank accounts, but they do not fall under that earning bracket wherein they need to like pay income tax, and their accounts were being used, right, to convert the currency notes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There was one movie also on that. It is, what was the name? Chappar Farke. Yeah, there is this movie on that thing itself during demonetization, how people use that like a business, right? So that thing over there. So in such a case, if like a child's account is being used to do such sort of fraudulent transaction or something, there also this situation would fall. But this was just an example of like an employer and employee relation wherein employees were made to do that, even though they were not aware of the given situation. This is clear, right?
Yes, ma'am. But in case of group, if there is a leader and there are his followers, let's say.
In case of
the leader, there is a leader of the group, and then his accomplices, not exactly accomplices, his helpers. They all plan together, and the leader does a crime. Will these people who help him do fall in the first degree, ma'am?
Actually, this concept of first degree, second degree, and this the other two things which we have read, these are accessories of fact, before and after fact. These are not given in IPC. Okay, these concepts are not applicable here. It's just from the common law we derive. For understanding, it's given in syllabus. But yes, in IPC also we have such a situation or such concepts wherein we say that a person may be held liable for criminal conspiracy, common objective. We have concepts like abetment. Okay, somewhat they are similar, but again, little bit it's different also. As such, we don't say like principal in first degree, this person is responsible, or second degree. Okay, so these are just something other concept. But yeah, for IPC, what will happen? Those you would get here. Say criminal conspiracy, abetment, all these things are there. Okay. So for IPC, like provisions would be a little different. This is just like understanding purpose. Okay, so this was principle of first degree. Just you can remember those two examples of a child and the person killing someone himself.
Directly.
Yeah, directly. Next one is principle in second degree. So principle in second degree are those who are present at the commission of the crime also, and they provide some sort of aid or assistance for its commission, like the one who was waiting inside the car. Accessories at fact and principles in the second degree are two classifications which denote the same person, like the accessories which we have seen, right, at fact, after fact, those are also similar. Accessories at fact are generally classified as principles of second degree, that is, an aider or abettor of the principal offender in commission of the crime. They are just helping, or they are might be abetting, right? They are creating such a situation wherein this criminal ends up finally committing the crime. Also, principle of second degree are those person who may actually or constructively present in the scene of occurrence. Such person do not actually participate in the commission of crime. Like we saw, the person was simply waiting inside the car. He did not even get down. So he is not participating as such, but yes, he is assisting or he is providing help. So they remain present actually or constructively at the occurrence of the crime and thereby aid, assist, encourage, or abet commission of the crime. So what is the difference between actually and constructively being present?
Like in a chain snatching incident, there are two people. One will be driving the bike and the pillion will snatch the chain. Okay. Here, even though the bike driver is there, he's like, he falls in the second degree. Like, even though he is present actually at the occurrence of crime, he is aiding him to escape after snatching the chain.
Yes, he will fall under the second degree, the one who is riding the bike. And inside second degree only, we have two kind of presence, actual and constructive presence. Any idea what this may be? Presence of the person.
No idea.
So this again, like in movies and all, we would see, right, that fine, someone is present actually, as in the example that you gave, a person is riding the bike. The example that I gave, the person is waiting inside the car. All those are actual presence. The person is actually present over there. Okay, in another case, it might be constructive present, as in physically the person is not there, but still he is there. Like we will see, right, some movies, I forgot the name definitely, but there are so many movies wherein it would be like, there is one person who has, like set up all the CCTV cameras and everything at the crime place, and he will be just, like monitoring it from his home. So he will basically be sitting at his home, and he would be, like might be over call, directing the other person that take left, take right, go this way, go that way. There is a person over there. You must have seen, right? Very common scene.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So
okay. He may not be present exactly at the scene of crime, but he will be aiding from a different place, helping him to commit the crime.
Yeah, physically not present, but still it's almost like he's present there, right? Over call, he is doing everything for the other person.
Got it.
Okay, so that is nothing but constructive presence, where the person is doing it. I think there was some other movie also wherein like one person, right, where he is going, what he is doing, just to track everything. Like he had undergone some like operation. Okay, so this criminal was like planning to do some, like commit some crime, So what he did is he like approached this doctor and he said that, okay, you just tell this person that he needs to undergo this surgery. And in name of surgery, what they did is they just inserted some, just to, like detect where the person is going. Okay, like GPS thing, plus his like voice and everything also will be like recorded. And this other person, he can just play it and hear what he is talking, where he is. He can like track live location of the person. It was like that. So in that case, what he was doing, he was just sitting at his home. He was checking everything, and he would be like asking other people that you go there, this person is going towards this highway, that road, this road, and then finally you like kill the person. Those would be falling over here, that it is presence is like constructive presence. As such, the person is not there, but he is helping in such a way. So constructive presence at occurrence of the crime, and thereby he would aid, encourage, assist, whatever is needed. This can be seen in instance where the driver of the car, the same example that I gave, driver is waiting and the person is simply like committing the crime and then he is meeting there. So principal in first degree, the one directly committing, or someone making, and like a person who is unable to differentiate between right and wrong, commit the crime. Second degree, someone assisting, aiding, helping. It may be actual present or it may be constructive presence as well. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the difference between first and second degree? I assume you have already understood, but yeah, just there are these two statements. So what do you feel are the differences, first degree and second degree?
In a second degree, a person is helping to commit a crime, helping some other person to commit a crime, or he's somehow involved in the crime, assisting the person or helping him in some way. Whereas in the first degree, the person himself is committing the crime or is using another person who is not sufficiently mature enough to distinguish right and wrong. He's using a person to commit a crime.
Yes. Right, so that's the basic difference which we have. So these are, like I mentioned, right, these are common law principles. That's why in IPC you will not get these provisions, but yeah, similar provisions you will get. So there is a distinction between principle in first degree and second degree fact rather than legal consequences. There, guilt is exactly same unless in particular case some factor of mitigation applies to one and not to the other. And in such case, principal may be guilty of a higher grade of crime than the other. Principal in the first degree is the immediate who is like doing it. Second degree is just providing some aids or assistance or some encouragement. Those things is providing. Okay, so in case of IPC, we would see provisions related to abatement. Okay, that's there in Unit 2 when we will discuss. For some crimes, the off section itself may make provision relating to abatement. If that's not there, the general provisions would apply like that. We have certain things. So that was nothing but principle of first and second degree. Now we have these two concepts as well. Accessory before the fact and after the fact. So accessory before the fact are those who, though not present in the scene of occurrence or where the crime is committed, counsel, procure, or command another to commit the crime. Even though they are not present, they have committed, okay, where the crime is committed, they will command or they will help someone else. Okay, accessory before the fact is unable to render aid at the actual moment of perpetration. Like you said, chain snatching, that person may not be able to ride the bike on that specific day, but he may be providing some other aid or assistance. Okay, because anyone in such a position is held constructively present and therefore known as a principal, like we have already seen, right? Even though the person is not there, by some other ways he may be providing help or assistance. So it's assumed as if the person is constructively present there. He may render aid in advance. Before committing the crime only, aid is being provided. Aid as in how to plan it, from where to collect the weapons, how to, like commit the crime without leaving any sort of evidences. In so many ways, assistance may be given. So he is just providing the aids maybe. As by procuring the preparator, the weapon, or other means by which he can commit the crime very much easily. The element of time requires special mention here, but this is only to emphasize the want of legally established time limit within which the the assistance was given. So it is not a ground that person would say that no, I gave him this gun like a month ago and he has committed the crime today only. So that will not be an excuse. But aid was provided, and with that aid only the person ended up committing the crime. That is what is more important over here. So when we say accessory before the fact you can consider as in what crime is being committed in reality, right? So it is before the act, before the fact, before the crime was committed, some kind of assistance, some kind of help was being provided, and the person need not be present on the day of occurrence. There may be a big gap as well between when the aid was provided and when the crime actually took place, right? That is also important. So accessory before the fact as in some help or some assistance given before committing the crime, which will make the process easy for the actual offender.
Okay.
And just because he is not present there, he cannot say that as an excuse. He would be held liable. Accessory after fact. Accessory after fact is one with knowledge of the other's guilt renders assistance to the person. Okay, someone knows that this person has committed a crime, and even after that he provides assistance. That's why we are seeing accessory after fact is similar with the second degree, because here also this person killed these two. Even after knowing this person is assisting him, right? He is waiting that, okay, you come, I will drive you home, right? I will help you escape from the given situation, right? So what he is doing, receive relief, comfort, harbor, assistance, some kind of assistance is provided. Maybe he is saying that you can stay at my house, I will give you food, I'll give you place to stay. All those are nothing but assistance given, like taking care of the person basically. Okay.
Okay.
So they would be considered as accessories after fact. After the crime is being taken place, this person is providing the help or assistance. A person who is accessory before fact may also become accessory after fact. There is no restriction as such, right? Someone may provide the assistance before also. Maybe this person who is waiting inside the car, he only bought this weapon for the person. All right, he can provide some help before also, after also he is only helping the person. That can also be, considered. But what common law did not recognize is, take for example, this person has committed a crime, all right, and this person goes back home, and his like this one, right? We are seeing. Who is present at the moment would be continued. Where is the second degree? Yeah. See, someone has received relief, comfort, harbor, all these things are there, right? So common law did not recognize. Take for example, like the husband has committed a crime and he goes back home. Okay, and wife is providing him with the necessary supplies, like wife is letting him stay in the house, providing him food, clothing, and everything. In that case, wife would not fall under this classification. Okay, so wife was excluded. Like there are many situations, in fact, in law wherein the relation between husband and wife, right, that's like considered sort of a separate thing. Okay, so Even, right, like the communication that happens between husband and wife, that is considered as privileged communication. As in, wife would not be, like made liable that, okay, fine, you tell. He is your
Okay.
husband, so he must have told you what crime he has committed. So now you tell what crime he has committed, what all things he confessed. Okay, that cannot be done. In law, like this relation is like considered as a means, like a privileged thing. Same ways, what this accused person, when he would hire a lawyer, definitely the person would go and in front of the lawyer, he would just narrate the entire story. Even though he has committed a crime, he would tell that, right, mostly that I have done this, help me now. This communication between the advocate and the client is also considered as privileged communication. Okay, as in, court would not ask the, like the advocate that you tell. He must have narrated the story in front of you, so you tell what is the truth. Advocate plus wife, both would not be called like that. Okay, same ways, like if wife commits a crime, husband also would not be called. That's like privileged communication. Okay. Same ways here, what happens is like husband is not given that liberty, but wife is given, because it like common law, right, old time law. So it was assumed that anyways, like if husband is coming home, wife would like receive him, provide him with the necessary supplies and everything. So just because she is doing it, she would not fall under this classification. Okay, even if the husband has committed something, wife is allowing him to stay at home, providing him the necessaries like food, clothing, shelter, etc. Wife would not fall under this classification. Okay, her husband. So under common law, a wife cannot be accessory after the fact, just because of the reason that she having concealed her husband and gave him assistance knowing about the crime. But this does not apply to the husband who renders such assistance. Husband would be held liable, but wife was not held liable. That was the concept. Okay. This is accessory before and after fact. Is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am. This is before and after.